Assalamu alaikum, peace be upon you, and welcome back. You are listening to the Mara Mukunda show on Salam Media. It is 12:46, and thank you for joining us if you just joined us. Okay, I've got the founder of Ladles of Love on the line, who's going to tell us more about the organization, Danny Diliberto. Hi, Danny.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Thank you for joining me. It's a pleasure. All right, so tell us the story of how Ladles of Love started and the name behind it.
Ladles of Love was founded back in 2014. It was founded on the basis of an ancient Sanskrit word, seva, spelled S-E-V-A, meaning giving of yourself, wanting nothing in return, not even a thank you. And so being in the restaurant industry, it all sort of clicked into place. I had a restaurant out in the city center, and there were lots of homeless people around the restaurant. So starting a soup kitchen just seemed a very logical, easy thing to do. And so we started. In the beginning, it didn't have a name. We just used to call it Love Kitchen or The Kitchen. It really didn't have a name. It was really after Mandela Day 2015, after we handed out about 600 blankets and we served 600 homeless people, that I realized that we had to think up a name. And a friend came along and said, let's call it Ladles of Love. And a ladle is that spoon that serves the soup. And we serve a lot of love, so it seemed perfect.
Wow, it's beautiful. And I saw the logo of it, Ladles of Love. So cute. All right. Now there are so many soup kitchens around. There are so many soup kitchens around. What makes Ladles of Love different from the rest?
Well, for me, what was really important is that I realized that the homeless people are human beings just like all of us, and so it was about serving the homeless. It's about serving human beings that needed our help. And being in the restaurant business, serving a tasty meal was also really important. So that was the drive behind Ladles of Love when we first started, was serving human beings a good pot of soup, a hot, fresh pot of nutritious soup. And that's how we started. And what was really important is that we were committed. When we started a soup kitchen, we were there every week, come rain or shine, public holiday, it didn't matter. We made sure that we were there to serve the guys. And what also began to happen were the volunteers that were arriving, because it was so easy to volunteer. People would come from all races, all gender, all color, all religion, would arrive at our soup kitchens, and it was just wonderful seeing a bunch of people coming together and starting to serve the homeless community and serving people that needed our help. So I think that was also the difference, and seeing the camaraderie and the kindness and the love, that we ended up calling it Ladles of Love, feeding your soul, because not only did we feed the homeless community, but we also were feeding the souls of the volunteers that came along and served the homeless community. So I would say that is what the difference is.
Beautiful. Since starting, how has it impacted on the lives of the homeless as well as yourself and the volunteers?
Well, prior to lockdown, before COVID hit our shores, we developed a relationship with the homeless because we were so committed and we were there all the time. We became synonymous amongst the homeless community in the city. I often, well, not often, but I have had a number of homeless people come to me and say, thank you for always being there for us. Because of you being there and providing us with a meal, I was able to get a job. I was able to find myself some work. And so there was almost a huge amount of respect that was developed between our volunteers and the homeless community. I mean, even the guys that would see me in the streets often greeted me, would call me uncle, would call me pastor, whatever word they wanted to call me. So there was, and they all knew my name. They all knew the rules of of our soup kitchen, and that we stuck to our rules, not to make it difficult, but to make sure that the soup kitchen ran smoothly. So I think in that sense, it really helped the homeless community. I've also experiencing with COVID and lockdown and the whole support structure, I saw what happened to homelessness and how difficult it became, and how, if I want to say aggressive, and the guys turning into more crime because they were getting more and more desperate with lockdown and not all this food available for them. It just does show the power of soup kitchens and providing a good meal, how it just keeps it keeps the guys, they're on the street, but it keeps them away from crime. It provides them a bit of support, a little bit of support that I think everyone needs. So for me, those were the really important parts of our soup kitchens.
Mm-hmm. And with the lockdown on our shores, and with the COVID and as well as the lockdown, how has that made operations at Ladles of Love?
Sure. Well, when our president announced lockdown, it was almost as a very godly message that I had to get out there and help the community, help feed as many people as possible. Initially, my primary purpose was to get food, to restructure getting food to the homeless community within the city, because soup kitchens had shut down. Pretty much everything came to a grinding halt. So I started connecting with the shelters in the city, and I started serving food through the shelters and using the shelters people to serve the homeless guys that would arrive outside the shelters. And then once I had that sorted, bit under control, it was difficult because the homeless guys were all over the town, and it was really difficult to get them to come to central points. But we did as much as we could. Then I started working with us. I started trying to find ways of getting food out to the communities and the townships, because I knew we had a crisis there as well. So I started connecting with nonprofits that had soup kitchens in the communities and in the townships, and I started providing them with these bulk parcels, as we call them, about anywhere from 200 kilos to 3 or 4 tons of produce that we would provide, vegetables, rice, lentils, all these type of maize meal, and we would provide it to these guys so that they could cook in their soup kitchen, and that they could serve soup or food to the communities. And that was the way we were able to start getting food out. They had to obviously come and collect the produce, so that sorted out because we didn't have the capacity to distribute and deliver these bulk parcels. And that's how we started growing, and we grew exponentially. Within weeks, we were just exploding. We also started a very innocent sandwich drive, asked some friends to start making sandwiches, and that just also mushroomed and became huge. And I mean, in the last I don't know how long COVID's been going now, I'm lost, but I'd say in the last 3.5 months, we've distributed over 2 million sandwiches. So the sandwich drive really also took off. It's now we're going to be opening a depot in PE as well with our sandwich drive. So Ladles is starting to expand through the sandwich drive, and getting these bulk parcels out has really helped. I mean, we've worked out that we've served around 5 million meals in the past 4 months. So we just exploded, and thank God we're still standing. Thank God we've had the kindness behind us has allowed us to be able to buy the produce, provide food to the people. So there's been huge miracles here. That's really all I can say.
I'm glad that the lockdown did not hinder your abilities to continue feeding those who really need to be fed, who need the food, and with the sandwich drive. Now, other than the soup kitchen, you just mentioned the sandwich drive that you are expanding. What other projects does the Ladles of Love have?
Well, currently that's our main focus. Prior to lockdown, we were doing we were working with 4 schools. So we were trying to get food out into the schools. With lockdown, the schools have all closed down, so we haven't. And even now with the schools, they're sort of open, they're not open. It's been difficult to deal with the schools. So really our focus is getting these bulk parcels out to our beneficiaries, getting the sandwiches out as well. So we work that with our beneficiaries. We also, through our sandwich drive, we ask people to buy canned food and oil and maize meal and all those type of things. And whatever we collect, we try and make a few food parcels as well. So we send out, it's not huge, we probably send out 100 or 150 food parcels a week as well. So those are our main focus. We are dabbling in the idea of sustainable gardens. So we're trying to figure out, are there ways we can make the situation more sustainable, that people can start getting back on their own feet and start taking care of themselves. Because this is very expensive. It needs a lot of money. Donor fatigue is setting in. So we're starting to try and figure out different ways of getting these soup kitchens to look after themselves. We have awarded, I think it's about 15 or 20 of our soup kitchens with a brand new kitchen, consisting of a gas burner, pots, cutting boards, knives, stuff like that, which we monitor. We work with them. We try and offer them some extra training. So we've also got those out. Hopefully they'll be able to they'll be able to use it and generate money in the future. So those are the things that we are looking into as well.
All right. So, and how can people join or contribute to Ladles of Love?
Our best platform would be www.ctloved.co.za. On that platform, you can register to volunteer, you can register to join our sandwich drive, you can make a donation. So those are the best. That would be the best platform if you want to join us.
All right, so thank you so much for your time, Danny, and I hope that Ladles of Love continue to grow from strength to strength and continue to feeding people in the masses.
Thank you.
All right, that was Danny Diliberto, the founder of Ladles of Love. The details are on screen, www.ctloved.co.za, if you want to find out more about how you can be a contributor or a donator if you are in Cape Town. They are based in Cape Town. So yes, ctloved.co.za, and all the information will be there on Ladles of Love. So do stay with us. We will be right back after the break.